And so from my mindset, HR is not a soft skill, it's not admin function. HR is an engineering challenge that we need to fix. And so I want to re-engineer the future of HR by using engineering principles. So what we're doing is mapping over engineering principles across like HR. For example, using a signal processing to figure out behavior data, and using system engineering to redo organization design, and using ops research to help with workforce scheduling. Go-to-market strategy is right now is based on my podcast and social media. I push out like thousands of clips all the time, HR content. Partnering with companies like the Seattle Chamber of Commerce. And you might not know this, but each neighborhood in Seattle has like small business organizations. Like Pioneer Square has one, South Dakota Union has one, so I'm partnering with them too. And also with veteran organizations. Some early wins. Obviously, I wish there were more early wins. The biggest one, we've laid out a product roadmap from now to the end of time, right, so to speak, right? Of course, we have to make changes. We have to lay it out along with the designs. We've released, like, I want to call it MVP in my mind is, but we still need to finalize the actual MVP scope, like what's going to be in the MVP. And we need to work on our sales model, our sales stuff. There's one thing kicking my butt, it's a sales. So on our two big initiatives right now, the first is build CabinHR HR Builders Club. I want to give everyone a chance here in the room and the live stream, be part of CabinHR. So 3 levels. The first one is a free level. Basically, send an LOI, help us build out CabinHR, give us feedback on the features and stuff like that. Next one is the Founders Club, month to month. For that one, we'll actually help you with HR, but no one's going to work 40 hours a week for you, but we'll do stuff like recruiting, maybe do some HR stuff for you, maybe give you advice. And the last one is a lifetime deal, $497 one-time fee. You have this for life, right? Even if you increase prices, it's still one-time fee. And if you don't build CabinHR in a reasonable amount of time, you get your money back. And so this is like only for like people in this room in the live stream, anyone you refer to. Next one, I'm doing a crowdfunding on Refunder starting September 8th. We're doing a soft launch today. Minimum $100 investment. And I'll send these QR codes to everyone to take a look at it. So the Refunder, you tell it to everyone. And then finally, I think like Steve Jobs, Tim Cook always say there's one more thing. So my one more thing is like, on my podcast, I've done 300 talks to entrepreneurs, and I just released a 7 ebook series. And I'm gonna send that to all of you, right? So the plan is starting next week, I'll send it one week at a time. We'll give it all to you right now. And so, and actually, Zion is in here somewhere. Zion was is in the book. Natasha, the bartender, she's in the book too. And the titles are 10 leadership, top 10 leadership insights, top mistakes, growth and resilience, emerging trends, future industries, unavoidable advice, and 50 podcast quotes. That's my gift to you for coming here. Thank you very much. I know usually people take questions, but I'm not going to take questions because I really speed it up. So, but if you have any questions, get me after this. Thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it. Next, I'm going to turn over to Kevin Goldsmith. Well, first, let me introduce Kevin Goldsmith the right way. So Kevin Goldsmith, like a lot of people say, oh, I've done it all. Kevin Goldsmith has done it all right. For you who use Spotify, he was a VP engineering that built that platform out. He's a CTO at Avo, DistroKid, Anaconda. He gives mentorship and talks like all over the world. I'm sure he's going to talk about his book he's selling later on called It. It's a really great book. He was on my board of advisors on the podcast Rice, and just a very, very great person. So I'll give you the honor and pleasure to introduce Kevin Goldsmith. I'm going to change the slides real fast.
You never regret it. And so he asked me to give a talk here, and of course I said yes. And then he said, okay, what do you want me to talk about? Because of course I'm going to write a new talk for Jason. And he's like, well, there's a lot of startups. I'm like, all right, well, I'll talk about startups. Again, thank you. Thank you for the introduction. I'm Kevin Goldsmith. I am the CTO of DistroKid, which if you're in music, you know. If you're not in music, it's fine. I also run kind of a small boutique consulting practice called Nimble Autonomy, and I'm here representing Nimble Autonomy today. I'm absolutely delighted to be part of this. I am also,
Kevin, another drink.
echo what everyone said, I've been really impressed by the startups here. Lots of cool stuff, lots of cool technology. Where to start? Like, there's a ton of founders here, a ton of investors, advisors. I've been doing startup stuff in Seattle and other places for over 25 years, and I advise companies. I've been in seed stage. I've been in series A, B, C, and D, and I've learned over the years, and I've seen that there's a set of things that companies, startups do that are successful, and then there's something that a lot of startups that aren't successful tend to miss. And that is this idea of building a system for building products. So having been a founder, right, you have a cool idea for a thing, you have a problem to solve, you're really excited about the idea, and you're really focused on getting that idea into the world. And that's all you think about. What I've seen is, if you've got this beautiful idea that you love, and you're competing with a company that's not thinking just about the idea, but how to build a factory to build ideas, they're gonna beat you. They're gonna beat you every time. And I've been beat from that. And I've been part of companies that have had that thought and been that deliberate about building a system, and they've done much, much better. So that's what I'm gonna talk about today. Yes, excellent. So yeah, if you're, when you're starting out, it is really all about the idea. You've got a vision, maybe in the prototype. You're ready to make something, and that's awesome. That's what gets you going. But the truth is, if you're really good at building a craft project, and these other companies are building, product factories, they're going to go faster. They're going to be more adaptable when they have to make changes. When things go wrong, they're going to be able to kind of roll through those. And if you're just really focused on your idea, you're going to miss out on that stuff. So when I say system, what do I mean? Because we talk a lot about systems thinking, and I was talking to somebody here a lot about what is systems thinking and systemic approaches. What I mean is that when I talk about a system, I mean the infrastructure, the intentional, and this is important, unintentional processes that allow you to build, ship, learn, and recover. Your product is actually the output. That's the output of the systems that you build. If the system is everything that makes that possible, it's what keeps you going as you grow. If the product changes, the system helps you adapt. If the market shifts, the system is what helps you pivot. And if something breaks, the system is what helps you recover. Let me give you an example from my own experience here in Seattle. Back in 2000, I was a Microsoft person. A lot of us love Microsoft. Went to go do startups. I was one of those people. And the startup, some of you may remember if you were around back then, was called Bootleg Networks. It was in the digital music space. We had a really famous musician as a founder, and it was a bunch of big label people and ex-Microsoft people that did this startup, including myself. We knew how to build software. We were all experienced software developers, product managers, the whole thing. But we didn't know how to build in a startup system. We were all coming from big companies. So we knew how to ship products on CDs and DVDs, because it was 2000. But this was an internet product, so we didn't know how to do those systems. We brought the wrong systems to the problem. Systems from big companies, from big media companies. When it came time to pivot, because we had to pivot, because that's what you have to do, we were too slow. We were too slow. We had a real trouble adapting. And we were heavy and rigid. We eventually figured this out. We had to, after we more or less cycled through the whole development team, except for me. I ended up having to rebuild the development team, and when I did, I figured out maybe not hiring a bunch of big company people is not the solution to this. We kind of figured it out, we got into a much better shape, but by that point, it was already too late. The market had moved on, our investors had moved on, we couldn't prove to them that we were able to adapt, and the company shut down, along with a lot of other ones, but we might have been able to survive if we maybe approached it in a different way.